right, let's see what's going on. Starting the stream up. Salute to Knicks Nation on this Saturday lunch hour. CP from KnicksFanTV checking in. Hope everybody's enjoying their Thanksgiving weekend over here in the U.S. If not, hope you're just enjoying yourself, period. Wherever you guys are watching around the world, this is #1 show for the fans, by the fans. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Coming in to catch up on some news that transpired over the weekend, starting with Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. The Knicks have come to terms with Michael Kidd-Gilchrist on an Exhibit 10 contract. An Exhibit 10 contract means that he will receive a training camp invite, and if he doesn't make the team, he could be eligible to play in the G League with a $50,000 bonus, or he could make the team. Now, Kidd-Gilchrist is a Kentucky guy, is a former CAA guy, former client of Leon Rose, draft bust. Let's just be real. But he's going to come in here and add some defensive depth at the wing. I think it's something that we need, and I think he could make the team. You know, don't be surprised. Can't shoot for a lick, and he's going to turn us into the New York Bricks. That's for damn sure. But I think from a defensive standpoint, add some depth at the end of the bench. I don't think it kills you. He could be a bit versatile, give you some minutes at the 4 on the defensive side, give you some minutes at the 3 on the defensive side. You look at the division and who you're playing with the Nets, Philly, Boston, Raptors, all with monsters at the wing. I think he can help from a defensive standpoint if he makes the team. And I think he does have a solid shot at making the team. So take that for what you will. Now, where does that leave the Knicks from a roster standpoint? Well, it leaves them with 16 under contract, under guaranteed contract. Hopefully this doesn't make it too small here. So right now we have 16 players under guaranteed money. You're only allowed to bring in 15 at the start of the season. You're allowed to carry up to 20 in training camp. Training camp starts Tuesday for the Knicks. Preseason will start on December 11th. Knicks in Detroit, December 11th and the 13th. And then they'll be home against the Cleveland Cavaliers on December 16th and the 18th. So 4 preseason games for the Knicks. Now, they're allowed to carry 20 going into this training camp. So you have your two-ways, Jared Harper, Theo Pinson. Harper just signed his 2-way on Thursday. You have the 2 Exhibit 10 contracts in Miles Powell and Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. That's 4. And then you have your 16-man roster, which includes the newly acquired Jacob Evans, Amari Spellman in the Ed Davis trade, and includes Elfrid Payton, who just signed, Austin Rivers, who just signed, Nerlens Noel, who just signed, Alec Burks, who just signed. So they're going to have to make at least one spot to get to 15. And if they want to make room for Kidd-Gilchrist, they're going to have to create 2 spots. So on the fringe, you're going to be looking at Kidd-Gilchrist. I mean, you're going to be looking at Spellman, Evans, maybe even Iggy. Who knows? To battle for, 1 or 2 spots. To battle for 1 or 2 spots. So that's basically how the roster is looking. You got to expect a trade is coming at some point. What trade will that be? I don't know. Some of you guys looking for that Randle trade. I'm not sure if it's going to be there. But I think more likely is that they'll make a move on either Evans or Spellman. Maybe Iggy. Yeah, you don't know. I'm not here to hurt the Iggy tribe here, but you never know. You never know what Tibbs is going for. We need defensive depth at the wing. They're going to get crushed if they don't have it. And so I don't know if it's going to be the Julius trade on the way, but they got to clear at least one spot to get cleared for 15 men on the roster. So that's just where that is. Again, not nothing to get high over on MKG. Draft bust, but can still serve a role. And you don't know what this coach is going to value on that bench in terms of his vets. We don't know. So I'm just saying. I think between Spellman, Evans, and maybe even Iggy, if they want to get Kidd-Gilchrist on this team, I think those 3 guys will be battling for 2 of the final 3 spots going into training camp. Does the Randle trade come? We'll see. We'll see, man. You know, with everything, with the way this roster is looking right now, it's certainly necessary, but we just don't know. We just don't know at this point. So that's where things stand on that. As I said, training camp starts on Tuesday. And then preseason right around the corner. Preseason right around the corner. December 11th. Knicks in Detroit in the D for 2 games, 16th and the 18th. They'll see their guy Killian Hayes. And then they'll be coming home for 2 against the Cleveland Cavaliers on the 16th and the 18th, where they will see Isaac Okoro. So let's see what happens. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Salute to Cameronesi checking in from Germany. Salute to Germany, man. Wherever you guys are checking in from, we're creeping up, climbing up to 700 in the chat on this early check-in. If you guys want to talk, man, call me up, 657-383-1509. Let's talk about it. We'll keep it short. Tomorrow night, I got Jay Ellis coming through, and we're going to start talking lineups. You know, we got training camp coming up. What will be your ideal and your prediction, your lineup prediction, your ideal lineup and your lineup prediction? What are you guys thinking? What are you guys thinking, man? A lot of questions going into this training camp, man. Short training camp, and we'll just see how these guys handle it. We'll definitely see how these guys handle it. This show definitely brought to you by KnicksFanTV.com. Hit your thumbs up for your boys, KnicksFanTV.com. Kidd-Gilchrist comes to the Knicks on a 1-year Exhibit 10 contract. You figured that was coming. As I said, the preseason schedule has been announced, and that's taken care of. A couple technicalities on the Austin Rivers trade. Austin Rivers, who the Knicks acquired last week from the Houston Rockets. It was first announced that the trade was going to be not the trade, but it was first acknowledged that it was just going to be an acquisition, just a signing. But this is now turned into a sign-and trade for the Knicks, where the Knicks will acquire Austin Rivers and also the draft rights to 3 players: Sergio Llull from Real Madrid, Tadija Dragicevic, and Axel Hervel. So of these 3 guys, Llull is really the guy that is really worth speaking on. But my highlights kind of messed up. But he's not expected to come over anyway. None of these guys are expected to come over anytime soon. These guys are all over 30. Llull has already said that he wants to retire with Real Madrid. So this was just kind of draft filler, so to speak. And basically it was used to create a traded player exception for the Rockets. Knicks kind of did the Rockets a favor on this, in that there was some technical issues with the Rockets from a salary cap standpoint, where they're trying to acquire more talent, but they are having some salary cap issues with their mid-level exemption and so on. So essentially, with this Austin Rivers trade, it allowed the Rockets to gain a $2 million traded player exception that they could use if they want to add that money to some more of their cap to add another free agent this offseason. And that expires in a year. So just some technicals there with the trade. Knicks kind of did the Rockets a favor. Maybe that comes back to help them down the road. Knicks get some draft filler that they may be able to use in trades down the road. Again, small, ticky-tack moves for the Knicks that they're trying to use to help further their goals in the future. Now, one of the guys the Knicks gave up in this deal was Asaf Sanin. He was a point guard that the Knicks had acquired in the Marcus Morris trade with the Clippers. So his rights were acquired in that trade with the Clippers, and the number 1 pick that went to the Knicks, they're sending his draft rights to the Rockets. Now, is there a Westbrook trade on the way? I don't think so. I think they're going to continue to make these kind of in the margins moves this season. Gain some roster flexibility, keep their cap flexibility. Rivers could be a trade candidate. Burks could be a trade candidate down the road. Bullock could be in deals down the road. We'll see what happens. But I think they're going to continue to keep this thing nimble. and operate in that regard. So I don't see a Westbrook trade coming at all. Let's hear from Joe. Joe from Yonkers. What's going on, bro?
What's happening, CP? How you doing?
Go, yo, Joe. Do me a favor. Just take it off the speakerphone if I'm on speakerphone. Just take it off.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, loud and clear, bro. Go ahead with your point.
Yeah. No, I was just saying it's very convenient how you have all the guys are signed except Elfrid Payton. He hasn't signed yet. So to me, I'm thinking is, do they have a move ready for a point guard? And if it doesn't go through, then Payton will sign. Like Payton's more there for a backup.
Could.
So I'm just trying to think: is it a Westbrook move, LaMelo Ball, or for somebody? Because everybody, all the other guys, free agents signed except Payton.
Yeah,
so to me, and then you think you still have Randle, you still have pieces that you have to move to make a 15-man roster. So
yeah.
The way I'm looking at it is they might have a point guard lined up because I really don't see Thibodeau going in with the point guards we have. I think he wants to try and win now.
Okay, good points, man. And you could be right. You know, the Payton deal has not been made official yet. Again, when it gets to these technicalities with the cap, basically they did agree to a 1-year, $5 million deal, but it hasn't been made official yet. And the Knicks also use, I believe, a traded player exception to sign him as well. So we'll see. Joe could be right. They could have some other options lined up that they're trying to explore before they make it official with Payton. So let's see. My prediction, I think he'll be the starting point guard going into opening day. And we're going to get into more lineups tomorrow night as part of our training camp preview. But I think just going into this shortened season, I think Payton being the vet, already establishing chemistry, whether you want to call it good or bad chemistry, already having that playing experience with RJ and with Randle, who I believe if he's not traded, who will also start. Sorry for the Obi fans. It's just my prediction. We'll get into more lineups tomorrow. I think Payton will be the starting point guard for the Knicks come opening night if they make it official, and we'll see where it goes from there. We'll definitely see where it goes from there. Keith Sinclair says we got 950 in the chat. Let's go. These numbers, I expected these numbers in the evening time, but we're doing well, man. Doing very well. So salute to everybody in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys once again. How we feeling? How are we feeling about these moves? I'd like to hear from the fan base. How you feeling about these margin moves? Ticky-tack moves. Doesn't look great from a roster standpoint, but at the same time, these guys are building for the future, man. These guys are building for the future, and I think, again, we constantly talk about having options to build with, and I think that's what they're doing. They're keeping it lean, at the same time trying to bring in guys that can fit a little bit better with what they have here, and we'll see how they do. Shortened season, shortened time frame, things are going to get hectic. And that's just why I see Payton as a starter. Somebody said in the chat, no way. I wouldn't count on that. I wouldn't count on that. Let's just keep it real. He's the most reliable piece that you have at the point right now, for better or for worse. I think the idea that we're going to expect Frank or Dennis Smith Jr. to take, leaps without having played organized basketball in months and all of a sudden just have it together, I think it's a stretch, to be honest. And again, you guys know my feeling on Payton. I just think of what's on the roster right now, he's your most reliable option. To me, I would just let DSJ go and let it roll. I want to see DSJ and Obi starting. I want to see DSJ, Obi, Mitch, Gotham Lobs, and just let it roll. But we know the issues with DSJ. His decision making is not good. His conditioning, what kind of shape is he going to be in? What kind of defense is he going to be playing? The one thing about DSJ, it just seems like you need to give him more minutes for him to get into a rhythm and actually play well. But this is what we're dealing with right now. This is what we're dealing with. So I think Payton will be the de facto starter going into it. And we'll see where these guys go. Tibbs is gonna lean on these vets, man. It's not just gonna be a kid show going into this thing. So let's just be real. Tucson from Pennsylvania. What's going on, bro?
Oh, what's going on, man? It's been a while. Hope everybody had a good holiday and all that.
Absolutely, man. How's everything going?
Real, it's good. It's good. Now I just want to make a quick point. I know you mentioned this a little bit, but it seems like we gotta kind of remind ourselves every stream, man. We gotta be patient, especially like with these off-season signings. I know a lot of the guys that fit our situation that we wanted to come through, like Augustine and those kind of guys, they have free will. They're like, we couldn't force them to come here. We can't be upset at the management. They wanted to play on playoff teams, a lot of these guys. So I feel like our management is doing the best they can with the cards that we dealt. So I just feel like we got to keep being patient and stop attacking the management. I'm not saying you're doing this, but, you know, a lot of Knicks Twitter and, you know, all that extra stuff. And also, I just want to encourage everybody. It's been a while since we've seen Knicks basketball. I know on YouTube, NBA put up the one Easter game in 2012 with Knicks versus Bulls. That was a good game. If you look at that game, you can see glimpses of, like, what we hope we can get from Mitchell, like Tyson Chandler, some of the stuff he was doing, and the way Iman Shumpert was locking up Rose. If we could get some play like that from RJ, man, that would be a good look.
Yeah.
But just wanted to call in real quick and make my points. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it. I mean, listen, I want RJ to be better than Iman Shumpert, you know, and yeah, if Mitch can fill that Tyson role, for sure, all power to him. But I want RJ to be better than Shump. Shump was okay. I think he never really lived up to the hype. But anyway, I think, again, yeah, you're right. It's expectations, right? They were only going to try to build this thing, but to a certain extent. Now we do hear that with the Hayward deal, they were willing to go 4 years on Hayward. And I'm just like, whoa. But I'm sure they weren't trying to go to that 120 mark, which is where MJ ended up winning. But reports are saying that they were willing to go the 4 years to get Gordon Hayward here. So, but I still think, again, they have their eyes towards the draft. They have their eyes towards free agency next year, and they're trying to build this thing very, very lean, and I think that's the right way to go. Malik Beasley. Remember I told you guys Malik Beasley last week. The Knicks were hot after Beasley. I told you guys that. And it was reported yesterday from John Krasinski, who covers the Timberwolves for The Athletic. He confirmed that the Knicks were hot after Beasley, and this is why the Timberwolves decided to lock him up to that deal right away. According to John, he says the Knicks' first priority for the wing was to get Gordon Hayward, and that they told Beasley if they missed out, they were coming after him. This is basically what I had heard. After Minnesota got word of the Knicks' interest in Beasley, they were aggressive in making sure they retained him. The Timberwolves were worried that the Knicks would be able to include terms in an offer sheet for Beasley that would be difficult for them to match. Then he also goes on to say that sources told him that Beasley was basically rewarding the Timberwolves for kind of sticking by him through these legal issues. So, looks like he wanted to stick around there as well. But from what I was told, the Knicks are trying to get a sign and trade popping for Malik Beasley if the Hayward thing didn't go through. I don't know if they were waiting on Hayward as a first priority, but, you know, again, they were definitely in on Beasley as well. And I thought that would have been a good move. So that is that on Malik Beasley. Unfortunately, the Knicks missed out. Esau from Buffalo. Esau, what's going on, man?
How you doing, CP?
Yeah, what's going on, bro? Just turn down your volume on your TV or whatever you're watching.
I did. Hey, what's going on, man? How you feeling today?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Listen, I saw a report on ESPN that says the Knicks were going to win like 20-some games, and this Vegas thing is always dogging them. I am so sick and tired of the disrespect. Now, I know you got to earn respect by winning, but with an established coach, a nice staff. They're making more moves to me than I've seen in the last 20 years, maybe, and we still can't get no respect. I love the moves they've made. Like you had said a little earlier, they ticky-tacking, putting little pieces here and there. They struck out on a couple of cats. No big deal. I'm predicting the Knicks, don't laugh now, I'm predicting the Knicks are going to win 43 games this season. 43 games. Yeah, I said it. 43 games.
43 games.
What do you think about that, TP? I already know what you're going to say, I think.
Oh yeah. You're bugging. You my guy, Esau. You my guy. Salute to everybody up there in Buffalo, man. It must be snowing early or something, because 43 games, fam. We got to pump the brakes. This team is not making the playoffs, bro. And I don't think they win in 42 games. They won 17 games 2 years ago. They won 21 games this year. I mean, again, I'm giving 30. Last year, 30 was my bar. They couldn't even get there. Now, it was a shortened season. People think that, if Miller was in place a little bit earlier, maybe they finish the season off, maybe they get to it. I think 30 is even a lot. I'm going 26. Vegas thinks 22.5. I'll go 26. 43, you Esau. You're bugging. It's not happening. I'm going 26. And that, I think, is a stretch. Somebody in chat said no more than 25. Even, 72-game season. Hey, listen, buckle up, man. Buckle up. It's going to be a long season, folks. It is going to be a long season. 43. No way, man. No way. Where you guys think the scoring is going to come from if they bench Randle or trade him? Where do you think the scoring is going to come from? You put on a lot on Obi in his rookie year. Where's the scoring going to come from? We got to pump the brakes, man. Let's put the training wheels on the track first before we, try to take off. This is a shortened season. Training camp starts Tuesday, preseason the 11th. We are right here. Season on the 22nd. And off they go. You have a new roster once again. New pieces. A lot of moving pieces. Pieces that may not be here. You have guys in Rivers and Burks who are going to get integrated into these lineups. And they're going to play. You have a new rookie in Obi. 43. Nah. That's a playoff team, man. There's no way. I wish. I would hope so. It would make our post-game shows a lot more interesting. But these guys are going to be on an uphill climb. The guys that came out of the bubble are going to have the chemistry, going to have the experience. Those guys will be good to go. Even the ones that didn't make the playoffs, they're still fresh. Somebody in the chat says scoring by committee. You're still going to struggle to score. You're still going to struggle to score. And to me, and again, we'll talk about this tomorrow when we talk lineups. I see if Randle's still here, I see him starting. I see Alfred starting. And Tibbs is going to play to his strengths. You heard him say it. You heard guys who appeared on this channel say Tibbs is going to play to his strengths. They're not a three-point shooting team just yet. Their strengths is going to be inside. It's going to be Randle getting high-efficiency buckets. It's going to be RJ driving to the paint. It's going to be Obi. Gotham lobs to Mitch, to Obi, attacking the rim. They're going to be attacking the rim. That's their strength. Their strength is going to be in the front court. Strength is going to be in the front court. So let's see what happens. It's going to be a rough year, man. Just buckle up for it. But Esau, you still my guy, bro. Chris from DC, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, CP? It's been a minute since I caught one of live shows, so I got to, of course, say salute. Appreciate you doing your thing as always.
Appreciate it, Chris. Hope you're having a good weekend, man. What's going on?
we're here trying, but I have some concerns, and you kind of hit the nail on the head. And it's kind of, what are we really going to be able to do because of Tibbs' temperament? And he wants to win now. How does that affect the development of the youth? Because I am kind of concerned that we are bringing back Peyton and we are bringing back Randle, and we kind of seeing how far that kind of lineup can take us. Why don't we just turn the keys over to the youth? And, of course, Tibbs is a win-now guy. He wants veterans out there. And I like the veteran signings because they are guys that play tough. They are some guys with experience winning. So that's going to have an effect on the locker room. But I'm not expecting us to win a lot of games. And I guess, or should we just be concerned with how we lose more so than if we lose?
Yeah. And appreciate the call, Chris. I mean, one of the things that, again, Tibbs talked about it when he was asked about Frank and DSJ, about their playing time. He wants team development as well, which means he's going to put the guys out there that give them the best chance to win. It's not just going to be about throwing 5 young guys out there and seeing how they handle things. That's why I believe Peyton is going to be a starter. That's why I believe Julius is still going to be a starter. That's why I believe MKG still has a chance to make this team, because in his case, you need guys out there that's going to be able to execute for Tibbs on the defensive side of things. Whether it's just in practice, whether it's just being a practice guy or a guy that's going to actually get out there in a game and be asked to check a Ben Simmons or KD or a Siakam in crunch time or something like that, just as a specialty guy. Because you're going to need guys that's going to be able to go out there and execute and get the rotations down and show the young guys how to do that in practice as well. So, yeah, I think Tibbs is going to lean on, Bullock might get some time as well. Obviously, Burks and Rivers are going to get some time. So, if you're DSJ, if you're Frank, if you're Kevin Knox, Tibbs ain't waiting on these guys. These guys are going to have to step up. Kevin Knox's case, he's going to have to step up on the defensive side of things. Be able to knock down that 3 on catch and shoots. DSJ, he's going to have to prove to Tibbs. He's a Tibbs guy. He's a Tibbs athlete. A poor man's D Rose, if you will. But his decision-making is just not all that there. His durability hasn't been there. He's got to be better at knocking down shots as well. Better overall as a playmaker. But as an athlete, as a guy that can get into the paint and collapse the defense, DSJ is the best on the team at the guard spot. But he's got to put it all together. So that's why I think Peyton gets the nod. And like I said earlier, I think Tibbs is going to go with some of the vets. And again, dealing with this roster, it doesn't mean that they're going to win a ton of games. I think they're going to feel like this is the way to help these guys develop, to help RJ, to help Mitch, to help Obi. Now, they got to help Obi by trading Randle, but again, I wouldn't be surprised if you start the season with Randle starting and Obi on the bench. I wouldn't be surprised. Because if you're gonna want to trade Randle, you're gonna have to play him. So again, this is not a perfect roster. This is not a perfect situation. This is not a team with playoff aspirations. This is a team just trying to put one foot in front of the other, whether it's from an organization standpoint or from a roster standpoint. Let's see where it goes. Appreciate the call, Chris. Eric from Connecticut, what's going on, Eric?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good, man. How's your weekend going, bro?
Yeah. So I just wanted to talk about the whole Julius Randle thing. Everybody I see, Knicks Twitter, I even heard you mention it a few times talking about if we trade Randle. But honestly, I don't see it really happening with the whole CAA Kentucky thing, So far, it kind of seems like they've just been doing favors with their past, connections and stuff like that. I don't really see it happening unless Julius Randle requests a trade, something like that. What do you think about that? Have a good day. Thanks again.
Appreciate it, Eric. Appreciate it. I mean, look, obviously they love the kid, right? Kenny Payne at least has the relationship with him. He loves him. That's his guy. But at the same time, business is business. And they went into the draft. They got Obi, plays the same position as How do they handle that is going to be anybody's guess. They put Randle on the bench. How does he handle it from the politics standpoint? They put Obi on the bench. Yeah, he should probably remain humble. It should be all right. But I think if there's a trade to be made with Randle, he would be traded. And so they just got to go out there and find the package that'll get it done. He's making quite a bit of money as well. So he that might just be a trade deadline move where a team that needs some front court depth or needs a front court starter gets desperate and goes to get him. But I don't think this is an ideal scenario for them to go out and have Obi and Julius Randle on the roster. That's not the scenario that they want. That's definitely not the scenario that they want. So let's see what goes down. Salute to everybody in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. How we looking in the chat right now? 1,400. Let's go. Let's get those likes up. Let's get those thumbs up going. If you guys are new in the chat, welcome to the chat. Number one show for the fans, by the fans. If you're new in the chat, leave me a hashtag new and we'll shout you guys out. A couple things in the housekeeping. Remember, this show is available in audio podcast format. Spotify, Google Play, Amazon, Alexa, iHeartRadio, everything. You can find us. No reason to miss this show. We're also having a Black Friday deal on merch. KnicksFanTV merch at Teespring. So make sure to get your merch as well. We're doing 30% off all merch. So go to teespring.com. Let me find where my store's at. Teespring.com /store/KnicksFanTV. I'll go ahead and put that in the chat right now. Teespring.com /store/KnicksFanTV. Get 30% off with promo code Friday all weekend long. Go ahead and do that. Support your boys. Appreciate that. Want to shout out who's new in the chat. Where's my hashtag news at? I gotta wait for the chat to catch up, man. The chat is going crazy. TM, let me know if I need to slow down the chat as well. Let me know if I need to slow down the chat. But salute to everybody on Team Hashtag New. I don't see you guys yet, but it will appear. Let me go back to the phones. Reg from the Bronx, what's going on, Reg?
CP, what's going on with you, baby? Can you hear me?
Yeah, man, what's going on? How you feeling?
Good. Listen, I was just going to give you a quick call in regards to what's going on with this lineup, the free agency. I'm not gonna hold you up too long. I think right now nobody is deserving of a starting spot. To be honest with you, we have no rookie of the years. We have no all-stars. We have no significant players. We have a bunch of potential. I think what they did pretty much is just bring as many bodies as possible. They're going to roll the ball out to the middle of the court. They're going to see who's a dog, who's going to fight for their position, who's going to earn their position. They have an idea of who they want to start, but they want to see if these boys is hungry enough to fight for these spots. They're not going to keep handing over spots because they don't know how to handle it. Knox didn't know how to handle it. Frank didn't know how to handle it. These boys got to get out there and be dogs and fight and take these spots. Julius Randle, last year when we first got him, we thought he was going to be something. I think Fizdale messed him up, trying to have him run point forward and all that. I think Fizdale messed him up with that. I believe that they're going to give him an opportunity, let him battle with Obi. If Obi beats him out, then I believe that they're going to look to try to move him. But he's right now the most talented player on the team, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to call and say we definitely got to be patient. We got to see what we do have, and we got to let these boys fight for these positions and earn these positions so that they can get out there and they can really form a team. Because right now, we just got a bunch of players. CP, keep doing what you're doing, baby. Keep it going. You stay up.
Appreciate it, Reg. Yeah, that's so. Listen, it's going to be another evaluation year, man. Yeah, and Reg speaking facts. They're going to make these guys earn it. They're going to want these guys to earn it. And that's just the bottom line. So nobody's going to be given anything, whether it's Kev, Frank, DSJ, they're going to have to go out there and earn it. And again, the Randle thing, the Randle Obi thing is not ideal for them. But Randle's your most productive scorer. He's your most productive scoring option on the team. How does that jive? If you want to trade him, how does that jive? I think he'll start. And I hope they don't go with, Obi at the 3, Randle at the 4, Obi at the 4, Randle at the 5. Nah, don't do that. If you want to do that separately, if you want to bring Julius off the bench, small ball 5, could try that in certain spots. But the two of them together, I'm not trying to do that. Ken Thoughts, team hashtag new, ARush686, hashtag new. MBM, what's going on? Welcome to the channel. Definitely welcome to everybody. I showed you guys the store. For some of you guys that are new, let me just show you guys a quick tour of the channel, man. The shows have been skyrocketing. Everything is organized in playlists, man. So the off-season central playlist, that's everything from our free agency shows, our draft shows. Those are still green. You can go on there and learn about some of the prospects and listen to some of the fan reactions from draft night, mock drafts as well. Then you have the draft mega playlist. We have a ton of content on Obi, our draft show as well. So be sure to tune in there. Special guest appearances. The Channing Frye interview has been gaining a ton of comments. It was a very insightful interview, funny interview. Channing Frye was definitely, I think he's moving into my top 5 of interviews on the channel, man. Channing Frye was great. Some of you older heads, Derek Harper, Jamal Crawford, Xavier McDaniel, Brandon Williams. For those of you that want an inside look from a former executive, this Brandon Williams interview was very insightful, very insightful. Rasheed Wallace, Chris Childs, Charles Oakley, Chuck D, been on the show several times. Salute to the Ryan Manuel, Kenyon Martin, Raymond Felton, Charlie Ward, Langston Galloway. We have a ton. So there's a ton of content on here. Everything you want to know about Leon Rose's front office. We have a ton of content on each one of these new hires, from Johnny Bryant, Kenny Payne, Tom Thibodeau, some of the scouts that they brought in. So all these are organized according to playlists. So make sure you guys check it out. And like I said, KnicksFanTV.com is up and running. Let's go. All right, so that was my commercial. Let me get back to it. Zay from Maryland. Zay, what's going on?
What's going on, CP? How you feeling?
Good, bro. What's going on today?
Good. I just want to give my opinion. I think with this is the first off season where, a lot of the signings that we're doing aren't coming in with the, mindset that they're instantly starting. I don't think we've put anybody that thinks that, oh yeah, I can go to the Knicks and start since I've been a backup player, on the XYZ team. I think this is the first time where our young guys on the team that's been here has an opportunity to pretty much, earn their spots and earn their playing time properly. So I think, a lot of the moves, this offseason has been great. I think the Julius Randle, I think the last few callers have been talking about Julius Randle, saying, I think they have a plan on, as of now, he's going to be the one getting all the points. So I think if they found a way to either work him towards being like a great 6-man off the bench, that would be like the perfect situation. If he can come off the bench and light up with his scoring and have Obi start. But if not, just having him there, I think that's the reason why they didn't re-sign or keep Bobby Portis.
Yeah.
Because now we have Obi off the bench, and at least for the next year or 2 years, tops, at least Obi can, kind of work behind Randle, or at least take Randle's spot, and not necessarily just giving it to him to just take over. So I think that's a good one. And then also the Austin Rivers. I think Austin Rivers is a great pickup. I think also a lot of people aren't really, paying attention that Austin Rivers is a dog. Like, he's very competitive. I think that was his big beef in the Clippers, on the Clippers team, was that he was super competitive with CP3, and they were going back and forth all the time. So I think he's going to push the level of competition in practice, which is going to ultimately, hopefully, we can get a good point guard out of, at least, him battling with the other point guards, and someone's going to come out pretty much the starter. So, I'm a lot hopeful. I'm saying 30 games this season.
30, okay.
I'm a lot hopeful that, hopefully, the stuff kind of edges out towards the end of the season and we kind of have a better idea of all the young guys. Thanks for the time.
Yep. Appreciate it, my guy. Appreciate it. Yeah, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you in terms of the Randle Obi thing. You got to look at it like this, too. On a business side, you have Julius Randle, who's making starter money. He's at about $18 million a year. How is he going to feel sitting on the bench when he's going into a potential contract year again next year? So the politics of the whole thing, you expect him to be a pro and you hope that he would handle it as a pro should. But again, money talks. And from a business side of thing, I wouldn't be too happy either if that was the road that they take with him. So it's a lot of things to factor in. But I still think if he's here, I think he will start. And it'll be on him to prove his worth for his future. So hopefully he plays within the scheme and improves and increases his on-court awareness. Makes that extra pass. And again, everything else with Julius, listen, the points, the rebounds are going to be there. You hope he can step it out a little bit more. And you hope that he can be a better facilitator. And he showed signs of it. That Bulls game with Portis really stuck out. In terms of Julius making those key plays down the stretch to find Portis for those corner threes that really won the game for them. The potential is there. He's got to put those things together on a consistent basis. So let's see what happens there. On Rivers, yeah, I agree. Rivers is a dog. Rivers is definitely a dog. I like the pickup. I'd probably rather see him come off the bench, kind of give us some instant offense, get out there and cook. Extra facilitator, maybe you have a bench of Frank, Rivers, Bullock, maybe you go Knox at the small ball small ball 4, and maybe Noel, something like that. Frank, Rivers, Bullock, Frank, Rivers, Knox, Obi, Noel, if that's your bench unit. We're going to talk lineups tomorrow. I got to write all these combinations down. But I think I would bring Rivers off the bench. I would definitely bring Rivers off the bench. What do you guys think in the chat? What would you guys do with Rivers? Would you start him? Would you bench him? Something to think about for tomorrow's show, which will be about lineups. All right, let's go across the pond. Let's go to London. Rafi, what's going on?
Yo, CP, what's up? How you doing?
What's good, fam? How you doing, man? Cheers.
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. I feel like I might get hate for this year, but I just want to talk a little bit about Randle as well. I feel like maybe as Knicks fans, after what we saw last year, we might be undervaluing him too much because he did play poorly. I'm not going to lie, there was times I was annoyed, like, just watching him, like, why am I even staying up watching all of this nonsense? But there was times in New Orleans where he was playing really good. So I was, like, to be honest, like, my question to you really was, do you feel like the front office are valuing him just right and waiting for the right trade, or do you feel like the trade market is just not there for him right now? Yeah. And even if we don't trade him, do you feel like under Tibbs and his new system, do you feel like he's going to improve his value? I'll leave and I'll just let you answer that. So thanks for taking the call.
Appreciate the call, fam. Appreciate the call. Rafi calling in from London. All my UK people out there, man, big up, man. Got a lot of family and cousins out there in the UK. With Randle, listen, this wasn't outside of Scott Perry, this new regime. This wasn't their guy. This wasn't their pickup. And so, again, with the drafting of Obi, I don't think they're undervaluing him. I think they're telling you how they feel. Because if they felt like he was going to be part of the future, they would have went with Halliburton or Devin Vassell. Or maybe somebody else. Who knows? Maybe they trade down and go Maxey. But the point is, them taking Obi was everything that you needed to know about how they feel about Julius Randle and his long-term prospects with the team. Now, I do see value in his game. Like I said, he's a 20-10 guy. But what is the proper fit for him? they didn't exactly give them the best spaced lineups last year. So again, do you bring him off the bench with that same lineup? If you start an Obi, do you go Frank, Rivers, Knox, Randle, Noel, or Frank, Rivers, Bullock, Knox at the 4, and maybe Randle at a small ball 5, depending on your matchup. Because then you have a 4 out, so to speak, or maybe a 5 out situation where you can have Julius go to work in the paint and have your shooters at the top of the key for you. You have, hopefully, Frank can knock it down. Frank was 50% from the corners. Maybe he's there. You have Rivers, you have Bullock, you have Knox, who you hope can improve there as well. Just saying, just using some combinations. So he can still help. But I think them getting Obi basically told you how they feel about Randle. They got somebody to replace him. So that's just what it is. You hope that he improves on the Tibbs. Obviously, if he improves on the Tibbs, it's for the betterment of the team. But again, I think Julius Randle will be elsewhere next season. Not this season coming, the season after that. So let's see how that works out. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. How are we feeling? Let's see how many we got in the chat. Going strong. 1,500? 1,500. Let's go. Get those likes up. Let's get up to 500 likes. We're at 440. Let's get up to 500 likes. CP on a Saturday. Coming at y'all live for this lunchtime session. Hope everybody's doing all right. Hope you guys are, enjoying this time with your family and friends. Let's salute some super chats in here. Kurt Cobain always sends us a super chat from heaven, man. Says, CP, we look worse than last year. It's gonna be ugly, man. Get ready for it. It's definitely gonna be ugly. But again, you hope you see some signs of improvement from a lot of guys, including RJ, including Mitch, including Kevin Knox. You want to see what Obi's got, bringing to the show. Can DSJ finally put 2 and 2 together? Who knows? We'll see how all that transpires. Danny Thomas, he says, trade Randle, DSJ, Evans for Conley and the 2021 first round pick. Hey, I'll do it easily if that trade is available. We'll see. Is Utah interested? We'll see what happens. Gianni Arm says, Julius Randle can dribble and shoot. What's wrong with him at small forward? You're not playing him at small forward. I play with him at small forward in 2K21, and he looks great with Austin Rivers. Listen, man. Hey, listen. You could go in 2K right now and play with somebody that has, I don't know, give me who's the worst team in the league, the Knicks or another team, and you could be the Lakers, and that person could wash you by 50. I mean, I wouldn't go by 2K as the barometer for real life playing ability. But no, Randle at the 3, you're not going to play Randle at the 3. Randle is a 4. He's a tweener. He's kind of like a tweener on the defensive side of things. Let's keep Randle and stop him from taking the ball down the court. Maybe Tibbs will do that. Salute Michael Parker, number 1 fan of the show. He says salute to Knicks Nation. Salute, Michael. How you feeling, bro? Be safe out there. Knicks fans are rough. Julius came here to try to make us better. This is the thanks he gets. That's from Gianni Arms. Gianni's a Julius fan. No, I don't think so. Listen, I think Julius, you're right. Julius has come here. He's worked hard. Can't say he doesn't work. But it's just a matter of, he came here under that Tim Hardaway Jr. sort of circumstance where he's got to be the number 1 guy, and he's just not that guy. Again, look at how he fit in with the Pelicans when he got a chance to play with Drew Holiday, Anthony Davis. They had depth there that can kind of hide him, and you can hide his weaknesses. On this team where he has to be the number 1 guy, all of his weaknesses are out there on Front Street because he's trying to make that play. He's trying to get that W for his team. And so again, this is just not the situation for him. So are Knicks fans harsh on him? Yeah, maybe, but that's just what comes with the territory of playing in New York. That's just how it goes. It's nothing personal to the kid, at least from my perspective. Seems like a good kid, so got a good head on his shoulders. You wish him well. Well, that's not me. You know, don't blame me. The team picked Obi. So what do you want me to do? You can't blame Knicks fans for that. Blame the organization. Like I said, they told you where they want to go at the 4. So it's not Knicks fans' fault. Maybe the organization sees what Knicks fans see. So that's just how I look at it. They told you how they felt about him on draft night. Mangu Man says, I meant the way Shump played that game. Definitely want better for RJ than Chump's career. Oh, that was okay. That's who called in. Okay. Also hope for the best players get minutes this year. No promises. Got to earn it. Nick Jr. 79 says the way the team constructed, RJ, Frank, DSJ, Obi, and Mitch will get a lot of playing time together due to all the blowout losses. 20 wins, 52 losses. Not sure if that's the lineup you get, but yeah, 20 wins. All right. 20 and 52 is Nick's prediction. Paul Nielis says, thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. We're almost at 500. Come on, we got 1,500 people in here. Let's get those like buttons up. Let's get that going. All right, let me go back to the phone. Just take a couple more calls. Once again, Knicks signed Michael Kidd-Gilchrist to a Exhibit 10 contract. Do you care? Let's go to LB in the Bronx. LB, do you care? How you feeling, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, man. What's going on?
Good, man. How you feeling today?
Hello? I just want to ask you a question.
Yep.
Because I know how I feel. I want to feel. What do you feel like? What do you really feel like, Randle? I feel like a lot of other people feel like Randle needs to go. So just what's the case? Like besides, like I just really need to know. Like,
wait. I think you had dropped out a second. Repeat the question one more time.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear, bro. Repeat the question one more time.
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro. Go ahead with your question one more time.
Yeah, I was just wondering, like, what do you guys see? Like, why do you feel like Randle should stay? Because I watch him play basketball, and it's hard to watch. Like, if he's not able to just like accept a lesser role, then I really feel like he really has no value. He's just going to stagnate all the young boys on the team. So,
yeah. I appreciate the call. I got it now. No, I don't think people are advocating for him to stay. I think people are saying that with Obi here, you ideally he should be traded. But if there's not a trade out there for them to make, then he's on the team. You know, obviously the team wants to make a trade that benefits them. They don't just want to give this guy away. He's not a bum. So they're not just going to just give him away at the first thing smoking. They want a trade that's going to give them comparable value for them to accomplish their goals. So again, if he's here, he's your number one scoring option, period. Just off of talent, just off of proven success. We'll see what Obi can do. But it comes down to one of the two of them. And I'm going to lean with the guy that's been playing. So Obi's got to prove himself. We'll see. So if he's here, he can help. It's just a matter of what his role is going to be. Just a matter of what his role is going to be. All right. I was having trouble hearing LB. Taj from Long Island. Taj, go ahead with your point, man.
Go ahead. Yeah. How you doing, CP?
Good, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. Thanks for putting me on. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. Yeah, just wanted to jump on the chat. I won't keep you guys for long. Randle's been in the league now for about 6 seasons, and in his 6 seasons being in the league, he's never made any team better that he's been on.
That's a fact.
So we definitely need to get rid of him. It will be a start in the right direction. I know you mentioned we don't just want to give him away for anything.
Yeah.
But if we don't start Obi and we start Randle, this is going to be a horrible year for Knicks fans to watch.
Yeah, it could be right. You could be right, because the fan base is going to be irate if that happens. And once the fan base gets irate, the media is going to pick up on it. You're going to see the Berman articles, the Bondi articles about, not playing Obi and the minutes and this, that, and the third. And then things are going to start to get, interesting. Again, we'll just see. This is the guy on the team. He's on the roster for right now. I think if there was a deal that they like to be made, I think they would have made it already. But clearly, I don't think there may not be anything out there for them right now. So they got to stay and be patient. And if he's here, figure out the best way to use him so that he can help them. Again, you are absolutely right. No team that he's been on has that team done better. Channing Frye said it himself. He hasn't played a meaningful game since he got into the league, and he's a 20-10 guy. Hasn't played a meaningful game since he got here. And he's right. This is from a player in the NBA saying it. So I think everyone's on the same page. So he has to figure out how to make his team better. That was always the number one question. It was the number one question going into this thing when he came last year. If you guys go to my season preview last year, that was my number one question for Randle, and it still stands. But we may not know the answer because obviously with Obi here, they're going to move on. All right, let me see who else is in the queue. I don't really want to talk about Randle that much anymore. Terrence from Brooklyn. Terrence, what's going on?
Yo, what's good? What's good, CP?
How you feeling, bro?
So yeah, I'm good, man. I mean, outside of the MJK, I just don't know, what we're gonna do with him. But he's a defensive guy. But real quick, I know you say you ain't want to talk about Randle no more, but I just think we're worrying about it too much. Nerlens Noel, at the end of the day, if we gotta play him less, we're not winning anyway. You give Randle off the bench, Portis minutes and Taj minutes. You tell him, look, you're going to be a pro. You're going to get traded. You don't want your reputation to get damaged being a bad locker room guy. And I think he's 26, 27. He's looking for his next contract. He's going to play that role, come off the bench, get his 25, 30 minutes, do what he do. And, as long as he's a good guy in the locker room, he'll be able to go to another team and play. But I think, putting him off the bench is not going to be a big deal. Obi's not a good defender, yet. Mitchell Robinson's going to be in foul trouble. It's going to be minutes for him there. So the real thing is just telling him, look, you don't have to come off the bench. It is what it is. It's up to you what you do with it. You either give yourself a bad reputation by being a jerk, or you be a professional, do what you do, and we'll try to get you out of here as soon as we can. And we keep it moving, man. My real thing was, I just felt like we should have brought a point guard that could shoot, But other than that, like I said, I think the Randle thing is going to be all right, man. We're thinking too hard on it, But other than that, I definitely think it's going to be a rough season, but it is what it is. Leon Rose, first year, cleaning up a lot of bad draft picks. We missed on some guys. Should have had Donovan Mitchell here. Should have had, some better players here.
True.
But, the draft is what it is. So 1 year, you got to give them some time to fix it and clean it up, man.
Yeah.
So I think, you're stressing too much. It's going to be a rough season, but we Knicks fans, man, we should be used to that. At least we think we got a confident front office this time. That's the difference.
True. Yeah, appreciate it, Terrence. You definitely on the money, man. Definitely appreciate the call. All right, last call of the day. I'm going to go Dan from Long Island. Dan, how you feeling, man?
What's good, CP? I was telling Dave, man, you're the only guy, only for your show, KnicksFanTV, would I leave my television set watching Penn State, Michigan to get on the phone with you. So,
hey, appreciate it, man. I didn't even know they were playing, man. So I'll go check it after this anyway.
Well, listen, neither team's doing well this year, but nonetheless, I like my Big Ten football. Listen, just real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I know regarding Randle, does it really matter if Obi starts or not? You know what I mean? As long as Obi gets meaningful minutes and plays, does it really matter? If Obi starts and he gets 2 quick fouls, he's on the bench in 3 minutes, we'll be screaming. Perhaps, the coaching staff will make that decision. As long as Randle's minutes don't interfere with Obi getting the minutes that he should be playing, I think it's a red herring, and we got to trade this cat so he has to play. He can't just sit on the bench and die. But the other thing is, CP, is there a real discussion that Austin Rivers should be starting on this team? I mean, he's a journeyman. I know that we're not exactly the 86 Celtics, but, Austin Rivers is a journeyman ball player. He's here to be a professional, to teach the young guys how to play. He's here to be a force in the locker room, someone at practice. But Austin Rivers, come on. Listen, it's a nice pickup, but starting, I can't even believe that's even a discussion. I would be really disappointed if he's not the future. He's here to just, like I said, get a couple of minutes, and listen. he came out of college. He was all hyped up at Duke. He's a rich kid from Santa Monica. He tries to play like he's a tough guy, whatever. Listen, let him come off the bench, play his minutes. But I know a lot of people say he's a dog. He's whatever. He's a journeyman. You know what I'm saying? So we'll find out what kind of dog he is. So that's just my opinion on it. But anyway, listen, CP, thanks for taking the call, man, and have a good afternoon. I'll be listening tomorrow night.
Enjoy the weekend, Dan. Definitely appreciate it, man. Yeah, definitely appreciate it. I mean, listen, I think the thing with Rivers, he's definitely he's been a bench player for sure, journeyman for sure. But in terms of guys that can just create in the half court, I mean, you really don't have many options here, and depending on how you slice this thing, you could need him. So he may not start, but he could be looking at situations where he's finishing depending on your matchups and what you need. So, again, the offense is going to be hard to come by with this team, man. Offense is going to be very hard to come by. But ideally, I'd like him off the bench as kind of that spark. I would definitely like him on the bench and kind of that spark. But if you look at it, the only guys that you can really rely on, from a shot creation standpoint to get their own in the half court is really all outside of RJ and outside of Randle. I'm talking about, supporting cast guys, is really Austin Rivers and Burks. Bullock is more a stand and shoot guy, catch and shoot guy. Knox hasn't really put it on the floor that much. Who else you got on there? We'll see what Quickly brings. I think they'll bring him along slowly, but maybe he makes a name for himself. But again, I think you could use Burks and Rivers. You could make a case for them in the lineup for sure. You could definitely make a case for those guys in the lineup. So let's see. One more call. Let's go into overtime. Closer Delano, what's going on, bro?
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Salute to everybody in the chat. Salute to UCP. Happy holidays, everybody. I wanted to give a little context because I think the issue really is the pass regime, and I'll give prime example. The issue that we had with Julius Randle is in essence the same issue we had with Tim Hardaway Jr. Here, that is not a first option, but you gave him first option money. In doing so, again, now the mentality is I have to live up to the money that I'm getting. And fired because now you soured fans because everybody wants to now have you in this position where the debate is whether or not you're a good player or a bad player, as opposed to if you're good or a bad fit for the team.
Yeah, right.
He's bad because, he's, the ball over, the spin move and all that. And I'm in that same category. I feel like, again, it's literally just the spin move and the turnovers. It's when it commits. It's when we need that one basket. We might be in a close game, and that one turnover puts us in the loss column instead of the W. It's the basketball IQ, the lack of defense, all that good stuff. But he still is a 20-10 guy. So you, again, got guys that lean towards that as their argument.
So there?
A fit, but it also is about the contract and the front office that paid you that contract.
Yep.
I'll give you another prime example in Julius's case. Last year, he signed with us. He signed with New Orleans for $10 million on a one-year deal. And again, you're backing up Anthony Davis, so there really shouldn't be any, question as far as who starts, who comes off the bench. You produced 20 and 10 even with an Anthony Davis still, on the team, even if he wasn't in the lineup. But where did those 20 get you? You didn't win as many games as the previous season. So in essence, you're worse than you were last season with this guy doing 20 and 10. I just feel like at this point now, with the new front office, the one thing I'd like for us to do is maybe give this coaching staff the benefit of the doubt. When we go into training camp, whoever they do should be the starter, whether it's OB, whether it's let's give them the benefit of the doubt and say this is the person that we believe gives us a fair opportunity to either A, compete or to win.
Got it. Appreciate it, bro. I'm gonna let you go because your connection was kind of choppy, but yeah, I get what you're saying. I definitely get what you're saying. You know, just give the guy who gives you the best shot. Just give him a chance. You know, again with Randle, it seemed like he was a bit more insulated in New Orleans, and so he's a bit more comfortable there. Had the best year of his career there, and then again coming here, you know. Kind of being in that number one role, that wasn't his fit. So again, I think, you know, we knocked the player for his deficiencies, but it may not just be him. You know, a lot of it is the fit. A lot of it is the supporting cast. So again, you know, maybe that's just not his role. But I get what you guys are saying, man. I get what you guys are saying on the Randle topic. Let's see how it plays out in camp. And tomorrow night, we'll talk more about lineups. Get into different scenarios that the Knicks could face themselves in. But for today, this was a good call. Good conversation, good catch up with you guys. Been off the grid for a little bit. Enjoying the Thanksgiving weekend and just kind of chilling out. But coming back to you with some news, courtesy of KnicksFanTV.com. Number one show for the fans, by the fans. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist signs with the Knicks, Exhibit 10 contract. And we'll see where that leaves them. They still have 16 contracts guaranteed. They have to get down to 15. Who's out? If they want to bring Gilchrist in for a real shot, then you have 2 roster spots that have to get cut. Again, who's out? There is going to be another move to be made, whether that's just a waiving or whether that's a trade. The Knicks have been active in the margins, and that's just the bottom line of this show. Things are going to be coming in fast. Training camp starts Tuesday. Preseason on the 11th and 13th against the Detroit Pistons. 16th and 18th home against the Cleveland Cavaliers. So yeah, we back at it, man. One thing's for sure, good or bad, win or lose, you always want to come right back here. Number one show for the fans, by the fans, and that is Knicks Fan TV. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Appreciate all the mods for helping out on the fly. Knicks Fan TV, Dave, definitely appreciate it. Let me salute some people in the chat. Jack Rose, definitely appreciate it. Somebody in the chat said it's a rebuilding process for sure. Definitely a rebuilding process. Let me make sure I cleared out all the super chats. Evergreen G, he says if Randle stops spinning and bringing the ball, he'll be fine. Those are both coaching issues. Tibbs will put a stop to that. Now, let's see. Don Cannon, CP, just a question. 5-on-5 tournament. Yeah, I already spoke to Sim about that 5-on-5 tournament last year, but we got to see how things play out with the pandemic and everything. But yeah, next season, if you guys want to do that, we could definitely do something like that, kind of like a fan league or a fan exhibition game or something like that. Yeah, I think that would be dope. Yeah, I spoke to Sim about that last year, that we were trying to do it, I think, this summer. But obviously with everything coming into play, never came through. So we'll see what happens, man. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Everybody be safe.